So
Aww.
Plenty of movies to go before that, including Splendor in the Grass.
Woo!
You made a wonderful choice by seeing this film, a beautiful melodrama directed by Ilya Kazan, with the first screenplay by playwright William Inge, who had worked with Kazan in the theatre. This stars Natalie Wood as Deanie, who falls hard for Bud, the handsome guy played by Warren Beatty in his first feature film role. This is a movie all about the bigness of first love, the overwhelming feelings of passion, and the scary emotions of a teenage girl. I'm so excited to have with us two of Natalie Wood's descendants. We have her daughter and her granddaughter. So please join me in welcoming Natasha, Gregson, Wagner, and Clover Watson.
Yay!
I'm so glad you both could join me for this. Clover, this is going to be your first time seeing the film.
Yes, it is. I'm very excited.
oh wow.
Well, Natasha, just starting with you, can you tell us about Natalie Wood's career at this point? Because she'd been Oscar nominated for Rebel Without a Cause, where she played a teenager, but Ilya Kazan, from what I understand, still thought of her as a child star, and she had to really fight for this role.
Yeah, I think he thought of her as a child star, and also like a not really sophisticated in the way that Deanie becomes. She did have to fight for the role, and she really wanted to make him proud. And I have a lot of telegrams that Ilya Kazan, we called him Gadge because he loved gadgets, and he was always at my house when I was growing up with in shorts with his hair messy. But he would write her these telegrams after a particularly emotional scene, and he would say, "Atta girl." And especially the bathtub scene, which is such a famous scene. I have the telegram that he wrote to her after that scene.
Well, she was Oscar nominated for this performance as well, and it is a very demanding role, like you say, with the bathtub scene. I mean, she has to really go there with her emotions. What do you think of her performance, and what are you looking forward to Clover seeing?
Wow, I mean, I feel like this film is one of my favorites, but I think one of my mom's favorites also. And the Wordsworth poem is so meaningful. I remember her reciting it to me growing up, and I have it memorized too. I didn't even try. It's just in my subconscious, I guess. But I think it was a real turning point for her, where she really, she wanted it, she went for it, she got it, and she was able to elevate her work and herself as a human being, I think, from this role. And she made a lifelong connection with Gadge, and obviously she and Warren had that amazing chemistry and relationship and friendship and all of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, Clover, what has it been like for you to meet Grandma Natalie on the big screen?
Well, it's definitely been just a crazy experience to see her in some of the films I've seen. I haven't seen nearly any, all of them, but I've seen a good amount. And it's been just kind of like a shocker sometimes. I just have to remember that that's your grandma and stuff. So it's definitely just I don't know how to explain, but it kind of yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be amazing to see. And when I watch this film, I see your mum in Natalie. Do you see the same thing?
I see it literally all the time. I just it's crazy. The resemblance is so alike, and you don't see it, but I see it so much.
Well, now I'm older than my mom ever got to be, so I'm 54, and she died when she was 43. So it's a blessing to get to be older, but I don't know. She's such a majestic beauty, and I'm so honored to be able to play any part in preserving her legacy and moving it forward.
Yeah, that's something you're passionate about, is celebrating the life she had and this amazing career. I also have to say, I see a little bit of Natalie and Clover too.
Oh
Do you
my
see it?
God, I completely see it, and especially when she was a child actress and they were dyeing her hair blonde. The profile of my mom with blonde hair and Clover with blonde hair, I completely see it. And Clover definitely has inherited her, what is it, her dramatic skills and her comedic timing, definitely.
Yeah, Clover, I was asking you backstage if you feel like you should try acting, because not only Natalie Wood and your mum, but also your dad is an actor. I mean, it runs deep in your blood.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to like try it just to see if it has like a spark in me. But yeah, I would definitely want to try it, see if it like fits what I like to do. Yeah, exactly. So I would like to try it and see if it's like my thing, you know.
Natasha, I know, yeah, I love I know you've been very mindful of how to introduce Natalie to Clover. You said something like it's like adding beads to a necklace.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
I think of, so, you know, Clover never got to meet her grandmother, and I wanted Clover, and I want Clover to have her own relationship with my mom, with her grandma. So each time Clover learns something about her grandma, I think of it as like beads on a string that will eventually make a necklace, and that will be the necklace that she wears to know who her grandmother was. And I hope that Clover, you know, as time goes by, she feels like she knows her, not just as an actress, but as a human and an artist. Because as you all know, my mom was an amazing actress, but she was an incredible human being who put so much work into herself, for her mental health, with her friendships, as a mom, as a partner, a wife, and all of that should also be celebrated and remembered, I think.
And I was saying Clover's already famous on TCM, because you might have seen the little interstitial where both of you got to go and see some costumes in person. What was that like, just to see, you know, what your grandma was like at that time, how tall she was, how little she was?
I remember there was a one where she has a red dress and her waist is literally like microscopic. And that was just like insane for me to see. I was like, there's no way someone could fit in that. But she did. And it was really cool to see it, like the real things. And I think the pie scene in one of the movies, you could see the pie still on the little jacket. So
That's so special. So Natasha, what would you like us all to know about Natalie Wood at this time in her early 20s?
Well, so at this time, this was you know, she had thrown herself into this role. I believe the day she finished shooting Splendor, she flew to New York, right? Or the other way, maybe from New York to Los Angeles to begin rehearsals for West Side Story. So, and she was behind, they had already started rehearsing. So she was, you know, her career was on fire, and she was really focused at this time. Her relationship with my stepdad was breaking up, so it was like she was becoming best friends with my godfather, the playwright Mark Crowley. He was a PA on the film, and he was assigned to drive her to work, and they became lifelong friends. In the car rides, as she was complaining to him about her marriage falling apart with my dad. And so this was, I think, everything that she was going through, she could use in her work. And also she had a very complicated relationship with her mom. And you guys will see that in the relationship today on screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And Clover's almost 13.
yeah,
Very
I'm about to
close.
be 13 next month. So
So right time to see this film. And Natasha, you also saw this film when you were in high school, is that correct?
Yeah, so I was taking a film class my senior year of high school, and we were with an amazing film teacher named Jim Hosney. He also taught at AFI and different private schools on the west side, and we were doing, the section was on melodrama, and he asked me if it would be okay if he screened Splendor in the Grass for our class. And I said, sure, because I had never seen the film. And so I remember being a senior. I had a boyfriend, he was in the class too, and the lights would go down, and she came up on screen, this unbelievable beauty, with all her vulnerability and heart, and it makes me emotional to think about, because I couldn't believe that was my mom. I didn't know her then, so I was sort of relating to her like a contemporary in a way, but she was my mom, and I just was so proud of that talent and that humanity that I got to see on screen.
Now you get to sit next to Clover as she experiences the same thing.
Yeah, it's very, very special. My dad kept saying, "Is this televised? I want to watch you guys." No.
We'll say hello to him for us.
I will.
And please join me in thanking Natasha, Gregson, Wagner.